Hello, everybody. This is John Ryman from Oakland Socialist again. And I want to talk about why it is that Biden has been so slow to send arms to Ukraine. And some think that the reason is that Biden wants to get just enough arms to enable Ukraine to keep fighting Russia, but not enough to enable Ukraine to win. That way, so the thinking goes, Russia would be in a permanently weakened state. But where is the evidence for this? If you look at all the serious analyses of the war in Foreign Affairs magazine or The Atlantic magazine, the more serious analysts in the New York Times, or even the Wall Street Journal, you will see a clear division of thought along two lines. One line argues that if Russia's invasion is even partly successful, that Putin won't stop there. He will allow his army to rest up for a time, maybe even a year or two, and then move to conquer the rest of Ukraine. Therefore, he must be stopped entirely now. The other line of thought argues that there's too great a risk of a direct confrontation between the US and Russia, possibly leading to a nuclear war. And therefore, the US should trade Ukrainian land for peace over the heads of the Ukrainians if necessary. Biden, who has been a compromiser all his political life, is compromising between these two positions. Some might argue that the desire to weaken Russia by keeping it fighting is something that they can never discuss openly. But that's ignoring the fact that we live in a capitalist democracy. If they were discussing that goal, if that were the thinking, some hints of that would leak out. Some pro-capitalist analysts would be at least indirectly advocating it. But there never has been the slightest hint of such discussion at the top levels. We should also consider what are the real motivations for U.S. capitalism to stop the invasion. I believe the motivation is to keep Ukraine open for U.S. investment capital as an outlet for U.S. goods and as a source of raw materials. In other words, the absolutely classic motives for imperialism. And as such, there would be absolutely no benefit at all to have nearly 20% of Ukraine and the majority of its coastline closed off. Not only that, but if there is a constant threat of war in the rest of Ukraine, that means there is no stable and safe place for U.S. capitalists to invest in the rest of Ukraine. There is neither any evidence of nor motivation for U.S. capitalism wanting to keep the war in Ukraine going indefinitely. Biden's reluctance to provide Ukraine with the means to defend itself, his slowness in doing so, is simply due to his compromising between the two schools of thought that we see discussed in the capitalist journals regularly. It is for all these reasons that we need a united working class movement to insist that the Western governments provide all the arms that Ukraine needs when it needs it, and to defeat once and for all Russia's imperialist invasion of Ukraine. For more such analysis, perspectives, and a working class program, check out my blog site, oaklandsocialist.com.